So, yesterday, Clownfish TV and today, Yellow Flash 2 revealed that Funimation is now under the gun. For what? Ironically, being too white. Now, since dubbing voiceover work began in the 50s, it's been a common fact that the majority of voice actors have gotten into the game for the past 65 to 70 years or so are white. And for the longest time, not a lot of people had a problem with them voicing over characters of other ethnic races. But this really didn't become a problem until 2017-2018, when one Henry Hank Azaria was basically forced into caving in to the woke mob, and one of his most iconic characters on The Simpsons, Apu, got phased out by the summer of 2018. Fast forward 2.5, 3 years later. Now we're getting into the summer of 2021. Funimation is now under the collar that despite the fact they support Asian American voice actors, many of the mob, of the Social Facist Warrior leftist mob, want almost all of the predominantly Caucasian white VAs gone and no longer voicing Asian characters. I find this a little ironic. I mean, it proves true, the old adage, you get woke, you end up going broke financially. And if Funimation follows through on their catering to these lunatics, the number of Asian American voice actors I can name off the top of my head that would be spared from this, I can count on one hand. Literally. They are, and this is only off the top of my head, I'm sure there are plenty more. Leave some comments with a list of other Asian American VAs in the anime community if you so wish. But these are the only four I can name off the top of my head and my head alone. So don't get on my case for it. That said, these four are Stephanie Sheh, Kaji Tang, Johnny Ling Bosch, and this will really bite someone like Sabbath square in the ass, Todd Abercorn. If Funimation follows through with their advocacy, those four are probably going to be the only ones spared, because they have at least a small amount of Asian in each of them. Kaji Tang, I think, is either Taiwanese, Korean, or Japanese. I don't know which one he is. Johnny is Korean through his mother. Stephanie is Taiwanese through her entire family. And Todd is Vietnamese through his mother. Those are probably the only four that are going to get spared from this. Though I think these lunatics would probably be advocating for Stephanie to be in charge, since she's the most pure-blooded, quote-unquote, Asian of the Asian Americans. American VAs in the community. And little side note. Do you guys think Monica's bad? From what I've heard through the grapevine, Stephanie is just as bad, if not worse, when it comes to her social fascist advocacies. Really puts perspective in who gets cute characters like Hinata and Orihime when she's not in the booth, doesn't it? even more ironic when considering that in two anime timelines, she ended up marrying Johnny. Specifically, Bleach and Eureka 7, for those who want to know. Where, now technically the Bleach anime got cut off, but if you read the Bleach manga, you find out that Ichigo and Orihime ended up tying the knot. Whereas with the Eureka 7, on the other hand, the anime concluded with Renton and Eureka ended up tying the knot. That being said, though, I find it rather funny that Funimation's habit of bending the knee to the political left may and probably will come back to bite them. It is that damn hilarious to me. This is what happens when one caves in to the tyranny of the mob. And sides with the political party who supports the tyranny of the mob. And you know what? In hindsight, Vic getting sacked from Funimation, with this going on, has more or less saved his life. Not his career, his life. Because he's not going to get caught in the blowback of this. He has nothing to do with it. It's going to be the people like Sabat, Rial, Schemmel, Marchi, DC, and Jason Douglas, Chris Rager, Josh Martin, Karbowski, Palencia, Tatum, the Aries brothers, Patton, Swayze, Nishimura, Glass. They're the ones who are going to get thrown under the bus. Now, as much as I don't mind Caitlin Glass, Lucy Christian, John Swayze, Chris Aries, and a few of the others, I do feel sorry that they're going to be among the innocent victims caught in the crossfire. When the guilty party for this is mostly Chris Sabat, as he's basically just recycling the clique with every new with the majority of the new animes they pump out. They get their hands on. Sure, there are some younger talents in there, and they do get some good roles, but most of the main roles usually go to Sabat, Rial, Marchi, Tatum, Patton, etc. And that's why people are sick of Funimation. And any that are licensed by Funimation, most people just watch the subcuts. That's what I do on my Verve through Crunchyroll on my Roku adapter. So maybe this could be the domino note that starts the effect that destroys Funimation. Will it? To be honest, I don't know. But it will be a bad comedy if it does. If it is. Leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, smash the like button with all you got. This has been my 2 cents on what's going on with this little bit. You know what I say, I'm not going to beat a dead horse with this, with my usual stick. This isn't really related to Vic, even though I did briefly mention him. Nonetheless, goodbye, good night, bang.